Okie dokie, so now we're back out of the materials page, back to the course information page. Let's go to the assessment tab. Let's see what that's all about. This is a listing of the stuff you'll be submitting to get points that will eventually become your grade in the course. So I want to make sure you guys understand what's going on in here. There are quizzes, there are projects, and there are exams. Okay? Now let's talk about each one. And then we'll talk about how you submit them. And then we'll talk about a little bit about why everything is the way it is. First off, each time we do a topic in any one of your courses, 105 or 243 or 244, I've created, let's back out again, to the schedule page, to the resources page. Okay, so now if we are in that page I opened briefly a couple videos ago to show you the topic lists. Notice that these topics aren't just static, they're dynamic. So let's just crack open Intro to Probability and Statistics, which is the first topic from Math 243. If you open this bad boy up, you'll notice this is a big old PDF document. The reason this is a PDF document is because this is constantly being updated with new material. Statistics, as you'll discover as you go through this class, presents itself to you pretty much every day of your life. I've added stuff to this as recently as last week. It's one of the most alive branches of mathematics. It's not really it's a statistics branch. It's really not even math anymore. It's like Portuguese is to Spanish, if you will. So anyway, what you'll see once we get through, quote unquote, through a topic in Intro to Probability Statistics, I've given you some pages of your textbook that correspond to the heading of Intro to Prob and Stat. I've also given you suggested problems on certain pages. Now you'll notice some of the problem numbers are not hyperlinked, some are. And the reason for that is fairly simple. The ones that are not hyperlinked will have solutions worked in the textbook. So these four, questions 1, 3, 7, and 9, will have solutions in the textbook. But I noticed that question 12 didn't. So what I did was I went ahead and made a YouTube.
Hi, I'm Andrew Luck, and I have
Hi, Andrew.
TV.
We're going to go ahead and jump right over here in a second.
I
I made a solution video for that problem, 1, 12, 12.
The purpose of this video is to look at question 1.
In case you're wondering what I look like, there I am. So this is just all the hyperlinked items have solutions for those particular problems. I made a few of them on the same page. Some of them were made in different times, but those are all worked for you within these sheets and these lists. So if you click through, you'll see.
Hey everybody.
Hello everybody.
Here's a
so anyway,
solution.
That's a series of resources for you to reiterate certain kinds of problems that would be contained in the Intro to Prob Stat or whatever topic that we've been in. So that's if you will, your homework. Now, the thing about it is, let's go before we go any further than that. So these are in the textbook. These problems down here are E problems, E1, E2. The reason they're called E problems is because I've made them extra. They're just more problems. Again, me stumbling along, finding stuff in stuff that I read. We'll do some of the stuff in class, but then sometimes I was like, okay, we've done enough in class. Here's some more stuff for you to ponder. Okay, I've got solutions for those right here. Got some things for you to look at here. All of this is here for you to use as much as you possibly need to. You won't turn any of this in. Okay? You won't turn any of this stuff in. But it's there for a resource for you to use if you need more examples, more problems to learn a topic. What you'll be turning in, let's back out a little bit further, back to assessment. You'll be turning in quizzes. Now, quizzes, some of them are in-class quizzes. Students really like those. They're pretty rad. They're done as part of the flow of class. Little pauses where we break into small groups sometimes, or work individually if you want to, and we work through a series of problems, usually pulled from the news or pulled from my personal experience, that ties to some topic that we're talking about in class. Okay, those are in-class quizzes. Those are fairly simple, and we'll talk more about those when we do the first one in class, which will be very, very soon for almost all the classes. Out-of-class quizzes, though. Out-of-class quizzes, if you look at the resource page, if you go down past all the problems, you'll eventually get to where the quizzes are. Now, I've got lots of quizzes in Intro to Prob Stat, Quiz 1, Quiz 2, Quiz 3. Let's see how many I got. 4, 5, 6. 6 so far, and probably more to come because I make them up all the time. Those quizzes will be linked on the schedule page when we're ready to turn those in. So right now, I don't have, we'll talk about these particular quizzes in a second. Those aren't examples of resource page quizzes. Down here on these due dates, what's due, what's due, what's due, you will have quizzes linked. I'll say something like, do quiz 3 from the Intro to Prob Stat section. So you go to Intro to Prob Stat, and you'll go to quiz 3, wherever that one is. It's up here, it looks like. Here's quiz 4. There's quiz 3. Now, quiz 3, you have to read a little bit. Okay, it gives you an example in 2014 of an image that I learned about on Fox News. And your job is going to be to work through this. I cue you with points. 3 points implies that you'll be answering something here worth 3 points. Okay, next we have another image, more points, 2 points here, 5 points here. Notice that adds up to 10 points. You'll then submit this as a quiz. Okay, that will be submitted via Blackboard. We'll say, that's all we'll say about that right now. We'll come back to that. So that is an example of an out-of-class quiz. In-class quizzes are their own little beast. We'll talk about those more in class. Out-of-class quizzes are the ones that are done outside of class time. And the thing about it is their due dates will be on the schedule page. They are due no later than the start of the class of the due date, which means you do all these out-of-class quizzes outside of class time. You can work with each other on them. We'll talk more about that briefly. You can work individually if you want. You can use any resources available. You can use the internet. You can use books. You can use any technology you want, including the Excel sheet that I'll give you, anything you want. But they're done out of class and then submitted before the start of class on the due date. Okay? So those are the 2 kinds of quizzes. I can't guarantee how many in-class quizzes you'll have. I do make them up on the fly sometimes. I can also not guarantee out-of-class quizzes. What I shoot to do is I shoot to average at least 2 of them per week. So you'll have at least 2 offered per week. Now, why would I do that? It seems like some of you might be sitting there going, that seems crazy. That means we're going to be turning in at least 20 quizzes per term. Well, actually, the only thing you have to turn in is 10. You are responsible for turning in at least 10. 10 is the minimum you have to turn in by the end of the term. And I'll talk more about this on the first day. If you're curious right now, you might want to click on this "Here's why you might want to turn in more" link. But I like it to be a bit of a choose your own adventure on the quizzes. If you see a quiz you don't want to do because you don't like it for whatever reason, you don't have to do that particular one. You'll still be assessed on the skill in that quiz. We'll talk about that when we get down to this exams part of the assessment page. But as far as the quizzes go, you don't have to do every single one. You have to do 10 by the end of the term. So if I'm averaging about 2 per week, and that's not counting the ones in class, there'll be more on top of the out-of-class quizzes. You're going to have lots of opportunities to get your 10 quiz minimum done. Most students, I'm going to say between 95 and 99% of them, get their at least 10 allotted done. So some of them might be mandatory. That means you have to turn that particular one in. There are precious few of those so far. I'm getting to the point where there'll be more, but I'm not there yet. So there you go. That's how quizzes work. Let's stop this video right here. It's already 9 minutes in, and then we'll do projects and exams on the next video.